Good morning and welcome back to another episode of Walking with Llama Paws, and today I am in a slightly hot and muggy East Leake in Nottinghamshire, and we're going to take a loop around the villages sort of to the north of here. Let's set off.
This walk starts and ends in the small town of East Leake, Nottinghamshire. From the bowling club car park I head east across the nearby park, passing under the railway and then climb up Fox Hill. After this, it's down a farm track, into and then straight through West Leake, taking the bridle pathway that leads to Scotland Farm, before heading alongside the Kingston brook to come out at lovely Kingston on Soar. From here I take a pathway north at the church, with a direct line north through fields towards and almost meeting the Ratcliffe upon Soar Power Station, before I divert east through the woods and the semi-industrial landscape near Winking Hill. After a short stint on Kegworth Road, I take a diversion up Cottagers Hill, and then eastward through Gotham Hill Wood, and then down through the Long Spinney to rejoin the main road. I quickly pass through Gotham town itself, picking up an old railway track leading eastward away, through woods and fields and then under the railway. My route then continues through more fields eastward before I take a sharp turn south up Rough Hill and through new woods and the farmlands beyond to come out on Lantern Lane, which leaves me back to pass through the streets of East Leake once more.
One thing about East Leake, it's on the glide slope to go into East Midlands Airport. So I expect to see a fair few planes flying over me today. I just had one just before that flying over as I parked. It felt very, very low indeed. But we're starting off here from a nice little car park they've got. And just going to go around the back of the Bowls Club here and pick up a field path. Yeah, that was fairly rapid, and just as well really, as it's about 8 o'clock, so there's folks going to work, folks going to school. But rapidly out of the Meadow Park and into a nice bit of greenery running behind some houses just over there. It bodes well. I mean, I'm hoping for fewer brambles on this walk, as I'm mostly walking on footpaths today rather than abandoned. Yeah, it's very distracting, the aeroplane, so that's the third one of the morning. I imagine I'm going to lose count very soon. But yeah, hopefully as I'm walking on footpaths, a lot fewer brambles to run into, because I haven't brought my machete with me, for obvious reasons. Just leaving East Leake now through this fantastic rail tunnel. Or at least I assume it's a rail tunnel. I'll check on the map. Oh, those are nasty looking brambles hanging down there. Oh, they don't get much longer. Oh, and water. Is it going to be a bit of a damp route? Well, that was very nice. Just met a lovely fellow walking beautiful big dog. We had a nice little chat around the area and the routes around here, and we're both agreeing on the fantastic wildlife you can encounter in these parts. So that's starting off the walk in a good way. Anyway, we have come up a relatively steep hill. Well, it's a relatively steep hill for the start of the walk. There are a few hills on this route today. But now we're on this nice hard farm track all the way down to the village of West Leake. Village I've easily not been to for a couple of years, but from memory is very exclusive, rather nice, and more importantly, you can cross in about 5 minutes and then pick up the field routes on the other side. There is, as you can perhaps see in the distance, a little bit of sun around today. More predicted this afternoon, but I'll hopefully finish by then. So that should mean for a relatively a cool walk. I mean, there is the wind, but you know, when the sun is on you, it certainly is a bit warm today. Still plenty of water in my pack and a nice gentle, a cloud of gnats there to walk through. Anyway, nice gentle pace to continue with. And that is us departing the farm trail. coming into East Leake, which, as is now well past 9 o'clock, is beautifully quiet and sleepy. Well, relatively. Guess some people get to work later than others. Anyway, as I said previously, we are on this village. It's about half a mile tops, and then straight out the far side, back into the fields. I honestly have lost count now. Anyway, we've just been down a lovely field track. We're just skirting around the edge of Scotland Farm. I see an absence of any Aberdeen Angus or belted Galloways. I think it's particularly on theme. Nice little farm. Carrying on our way to the next village, which goes by the name of Kingston. Kingston on Soar. Certainly, oh, I can just see in the distance those are the warehouses on the edge of the airport. So, oh, and the conning tower. So yeah, we are probably only about 2.5 miles away from the airport itself. It's not surprising there's a lot of planes coming in. So we are across the field path to Kingston upon Soar very shortly. I can definitely see through the trees over there, the buildings on the edge of the airport. We're also running just alongside the East Midlands main railway line as well. So if we're very lucky, you might even see a train or two. Not there's that many on this line. It has been fairly a remarkable walk. A few sheep. Easy to follow trackways. Quite a nice bridge. No great big hills, that's probably the big advantage. There we have it. The very fringes of Kingston on Soar. And from here we're going up towards the power station. But oh, look at that lovely bridge though first. I do hope we're going to get to walk across that. Indeed. Walk across this rather splendid bridge. Right to the left of me, just behind there, is the village church. So now it's time to peruse the map, work out where next. Well, it turned out for all my excitement crossing that bridge, I was actually supposed to head in the other direction. Never mind, got across the bridge and oh, look at that. It's a rather nice church here. This is one of those villages in Nottinghamshire that's not that far from my home that I just do not know at all. It's slightly more off the flight path than East and West Leake, so one would think that makes it a little more desirable to live. Oh, look. A bandstand or a sheltered seating area. That's rather nice. And just after the church, we've come off onto this nice little back path. Which I noticed was just past someone who had some turkeys. Always good to see a turkey lakey. Oh, look at those brambles, starting to get ripe. A perfect head height to just nibble on as you pass. Anyway, across the fields from here, up to the edges of Ratcliffe on Soar. And as promised, there you go, there's a train on the East Midlands main line. Now you probably can see all these power lines here and think yourself, oh, why are they here? Well, because I am approaching the Ratcliffe on Soar Power Station just over there. Cooling towers are very recognisable from both the M1 and the A50. Yeah, sorry, staggering a little because it's quite overgrown. Here, there is a route through this field, but the farmer's certainly not left a big gap for walkers. But there's a gap, so I'm not going to moan. And as I say, if you like brutalistic architecture, there you go. There's some in spades. I'm not sure how much more longer this one's actually operating as it stands. I'll rely on the caption guy to update us on the status. also met a few more nice dog walkers along this route, so nice folks in this area. So highly recommended, really. You can stroll on here, meet the locals, explore the countryside, see the gigantic power stations. Well, on the plus side, it's not as overgrown as this trail near Bingham. On the downside, it's marshier underfoot. Under the trees now, which is perhaps a minor blessing because it's just come on to rain. So, rain was not really predicted for this morning. It was cloudy. Precipitation was, maybe 20% chance. But that's the problem with probability, isn't it? 20% is by no means a certainty it's not going to rain. So at least I've got a bit of shielding for a while. I've just had to wipe my phone a few times to get it to the touchscreen to respond as well. As it was getting so damp, which is always a problem in wet weather conditions. It's inside a case, but still means a bit of a problem. The route, though, remains charming, at least, and not too brambly. I'm saying that cautiously because, there could be far more brambles ahead of me. And look, a little fairy path for me to walk through, strewn with mushrooms. They must love that tree. Sadly, as you can see from the sky, it is still raining. And I'm now alongside the busy Kegworth Road. Now, believe me, cyclists aren't the only thing down here. I'd rather be walking on the road itself, more even. But frankly, the speed some of the cars are coming down here doesn't really make it viable. Thankfully, though, it's only about a third of a mile, and then we can get back off this and onto some nice woodland tracks again as we get through Gotham Wood. Well, that was a fair ridge to climb, and back over there you can just see through the chimneys, and that's the north edge of East Leake itself, but of course we're not heading there just yet. We're alongside Gotham Wood on Gotham Hill, I believe. Hopefully that's the end of the climbing up the hill for the most part. Still drizzling, has to be said. So I must say this is not going to go down as the all-time greatest walking experience I've had. Nice as the countryside is. The damper I get, literally the damper, it makes my enthusiasm. But we shall forge onwards. Not let a little precipitation slow us down too much. Now if I can pass by these sheep without startling them, I'll be happy. Oh dear. I'm not too nervous Nellie's there. No. For the most part, very chilled out sheep. Well, down there is the village of Gotham, or Gotham if you prefer, if you're local. Obviously, never call it Gotham, because apparently that really annoys them, because the fat man does not live there. Oh, go on. Go visit them and say, welcome to Gotham City. I'll try and get a picture by the roadside as we come in. Anyway, meanwhile, up here on Gotham Hill, near Stately Way Manor, we've had a bit of sun's come out and the rain has stopped, which of course has the delightful bonus of driving up the humidity. Ah, British summers, how we love you. That said though, it's very nice walking this ridge. Some great views across the area. But that said, I'm going to be grateful shortly to come out of this field, pick up the road, and then we're going to walk south through Gotham itself. Oh no, I done it myself. Oh, I'm so sorry. Gotham, through Gotham. All is well in Gotham City. The sound of terror is all you hear. Sometimes a pistol takes the place of a body. Sometimes a body's here. Yeah, okay, that's enough of my Prince impression. Welcome to Gotham. Not to be confused with that other place, folks. We're keeping it Gotham. We're keeping it local. just going to walk straight through this village and then take a little kink to the east on a field path. And oh no, was that a drop of rain I just felt? Oh lovely, is it going to rain again? Oh, it's a sunshine and showers kind of a day, isn't it? You certainly can see it's had a bit of rain here, how wet the paths look. Just availed myself of the local convenience shop. Bought a bottle of much wanted pop on this hot and sticky day. There's the Gotham Church. And they've got a lot of pubs in this village. Anyway, we are down this little road here. And hopefully picking up that field route to that dismantled railway. So it's really been quite easy bit of walking here. And well, after that encounter with one of the less intellectually developed members of the Gotham community, I'm perhaps grateful to be getting that village behind me. But never mind. Arseholes are everywhere, aren't they? So, here we are, heading down on a nice track that will indeed pick up, eventually, a short section of disused railway. So, let's skip along to that. And here we are, on the old abandoned Gotham railway line. I have to say, after the last one I was on in Bingham, on the embankment, this is perhaps a little less spectacular. It's fairly flat and it just looked like it was a road. So, now of course on the other hand, brambles, not a problem on it, so I'm not going to complain about that. I can just see over to my extreme left over there to the north, the edge of Nottingham. That really is the very, very fringes of Nottingham. I'm not going anywhere near that today. Anyway, we're on this railway slash track slash road for a while now, before we finally start curving southwards again, heading back towards East Leake. It was too good to last. And here we are on the footpath, running alongside a farm track. But of course the farm track isn't public access. This is the footpath. Splendid. Not that well maintained. There's a duck under. Have a look at that. If I stand upright, that's the height. Oh. Dear me. Ugh. Nottinghamshire County Council. One email coming your way. But I know what you're thinking. There's still fewer brambles than last time, Llama. And you'll be right. Also, it's Lord Llama. Please, send Llama to my close friends. Oh well. Next time I'm bringing the machete. I'm joking, I'm not obviously, I don't own a machete. Small pair of pruning shears on the other hand. I might be ending up in my backpack very soon. So yeah, that's not marked the right way in the field. But frankly I can imagine that's what most people do. So all the same, I think the council needs to come and have a look at that path. Either remove the sign if that's not the official route, and the landowners just put it up to confuse hikers like myself, or if it is the official route, they need to get down here with their still and get trimming pronto. Oh, we seem to be orbiting the gypsum works on the edge of East Leake there. So we're still heading east at this point. Oh, this is actually a slightly familiar trail to me now, because I came here last week with the local group of the Long Distance Walkers Association, the LDWA, not the LWDA as I apparently kept calling it in the last video. I think I'm confusing it with the local defence volunteers. in Dad's army. So what I'm doing is just taking this route that runs parallel to a fairly busy road over there, but it will take us into a path that takes us up through New Wood up there, and from there down into East Leake. So technically I'm on a route I kind of know, even though I've only walked it the once a few days ago, which should make it slightly easier. It's also, at this point, fairly flat, isn't raining, and the sun's not beating down on us. So, all for the win at the moment. Just over there is Bunny, and that's Bunny Wood. But we are heading up here towards New Wood, and beyond it, East Leake itself. So, hopefully that's the last hill of the day we're going to be climbing. It has been a fair bit hillier today than most of the routes I've done lately, so legs are looking forward to a break at the end. That hill was hard work today. Oh, well, certainly this point of the walk it is. Oh, my legs are quite weary. Oh, but thankfully a bit of cooler woodland walking now. And nicely, this is a bit drier than when I walked it the other day. Oh, but still uphill. So hence the slower pace. Oh. If there's a stile at the end of this, I'll scream. Oh good, no. Oh, just a nice wooden path actually, raised above the swamps of East Leake. And as always, at this part of the walk, hello horses, it's time for me to say if you've enjoyed this video, do please give me that all-important like, and if you've really enjoyed it, think about subscribing. Thank you very much for that. And meanwhile, we're continuing to circumvent fields with horses, hoping to shortly pick up Lantern Lane, which does lead us right into the back of East Leake itself. I reckon it's about 2 miles though still to go of my route at this point. But at least the rain is now well and truly behind us. Or ahead of us. Anyway, it's not going to rain, I hope, for the next half hour. And here we are exiting Lantern Lane and coming in to the edge of a school to our left. There's a lot of new built houses here to our right. And there's a route here. I'm now trying to remember if that's where I need to go next. So I'm going to check the map. And it turns out, yes it is. Yes, it is the route down here. Past the already quite noisy school, I suspect. At least it's a nice overgrown path, so there'll be fewer people walking down here. Oh, more brambles. I love it. If you're an East Leake local, come here in a couple of weeks, those brambles should be perfect. To eat, that is, not to walk through. Considering how close this is to a village, it's still fairly overgrown as a path. In fact, this is actually, in the middle of a village. Some last minute horse obstacles. I wouldn't want to fall foul of them. Oh, please yourself. There's a surprising variety of pathways and environments just on this sort of mile from the edge of East Leake, well, northeast edge of it, to the core. Basically rather an interesting village to kind of walk around, or walk from, certainly. All good. A bridge over troubled waters. So just coming up now, we're in the middle of East Leake. Shortly we'll take a right-hand turn, and then we're almost back at the car park, and almost on time. There's another aeroplane above us. It's certainly a lot busier than when I left it this morning. It's 20 past 8. And here we are, back in the car park, just heading over to my car now. there we are, at the end here in East Leake from where we started from. And I've just looked at my speed, and that was much faster than I thought it was, even taking into account the point where I stopped and had a chat with someone along the way. A really interesting varied route, quite hilly route, I think that's safe to say. And with the weather conditions today, I mean, you can see I look pretty hot because it is pretty muggy, pretty sweaty, pretty high and humid, even though we're still with clouds above us. But you know what? Decent place to come from, decent car park. I would highly recommend a bit of hiking around here in East Leake area. So I hope to see you for the very next walking on Llama's Paws. See you then.